I tried to win back, the one that got away. But when I found her again, she was engaged, to my cousin, and pregnant. For 3 years, I'd been carrying the weight of the biggest mistake of my life. Every time I closed my eyes, I could see Sophie Martinez standing on my doorstep in Austin, tears streaming down her face as she asked me to choose between her and my career. And every time, I remembered the look of devastation when I told her I needed to take the job in Seattle, that we could try long distance, that this opportunity was too important to pass up. "This is it for us, isn't it?" she'd whispered, her voice breaking. "You're choosing a job over what we have." I should have said no. I should have told her that nothing was more important than us, that I'd find another opportunity, that some things were worth more than career advancement. Instead, I stood there like an idiot and said the words that would haunt me for years. "Sophie, you have to understand. This is my future we're talking about." "I thought I was your future," she replied, and then she walked out of my life. That was 2021. Now, in the fall of 2024, I was finally in a position to make things right. The tech startup I joined in Seattle had been acquired by a major corporation, and my stock options had vested. I was financially secure, emotionally ready, and determined to find Sophie and prove to her that I'd learned from my mistakes. I'd spent months tracking her down through mutual friends and social media searches. Sophie had always been private online, but I'd finally gotten a lead from our college friend Maria, who mentioned that Sophie was living in Denver and working as a graphic designer for a sustainable fashion company. Denver was perfect. I could transfer to our company's Colorado office, get a fresh start in a city where Sophie and I could rebuild what we'd lost. I'd spent weeks crafting the perfect plan: find her, apologize for my stupidity, show her how much I'd grown and changed, and hopefully convince her to give us another chance. I'd rehearsed what I would say 1,000 times. How I'd explain that the success I'd achieved meant nothing without her to share it with. How I'd realized that love was more important than ambition, that partnership was more valuable than any career milestone. How I'd spent 3 years regretting the choice I'd made and hoping for the chance to make it right. The coffee shop on Larimer Street was supposed to be our reunion venue. I'd done my research, found out it was near her office, the kind of place she'd always loved: exposed brick walls, local art, the smell of fresh roasted beans. I arrived 30 minutes early, claiming a corner table with a clear view of the entrance, my heart hammering against my ribs like it was trying to escape. When Sophie walked through the door, my breath caught in my throat. She looked exactly the same but somehow more beautiful, her dark hair longer than I remembered, her smile as radiant as ever as she scanned the room looking for whoever she was meeting. She wore a flowing green dress that complemented her olive skin, and for a moment, I was 25 again, falling in love with her all over again. But then I noticed the ring on her finger, a simple but elegant diamond that caught the afternoon light as she raised her hand to wave at someone behind me. And then I saw the subtle curve of her abdomen, the way her dress draped over what was unmistakably a pregnant belly. My heart stopped. Sophie was engaged. Sophie was pregnant. Sophie had moved on completely while I'd been living in the past, planning a future that no longer existed.
Check out the full story by clicking here.